Investigating an active bomb threat after receiving reports of an explosive device in a truck near the Library of Congress. Let's get straight to CNN's Whitney Roberts. She joins us now live from outside the Capitol. Whitney, what do we know?
Well, John, we know very little at this point other than there's a suspect in a vehicle outside the Library of Congress in a pickup truck, we're told, who is actively negotiating with police at this moment. Law enforcement sources telling me and my colleague Evan Perez he's negotiating via whiteboard. There is concern that this person has been making statements to suggest that he wants to detonate these explosive devices. We don't know, of course, if he has an explosive device, or we can't determine in this moment any truthfulness to his statements, but what we know is that that is enough to bring forth an enormous law enforcement response here, John. Federal law enforcement, as well as the Metropolitan Police Department, which is a local police department here in D.C., as well as the U.S. Capitol Police, are responding now. We are not anywhere near that area. Nobody is. They've evacuated buildings nearby, the House office buildings, for example, here at the Capitol complex, as well as office buildings associated with the Library of Congress, Supreme Court as well. It's important to note, though, John, that the silver lining in all this is that there are a few people here because the Supreme Court is out, as well as Congress being on recess, so there are far fewer people here today than there would be, say, 2 or 3 months from now or 2 or 3 months ago. Again, that's the silver lining here. We know very little. We just finished up a very brief press conference with the new Capitol Police Chief, Tom Manger, who said that there are ongoing negotiations, but other than that, John gave very little information.
And Whitney, this would be a significant event any day, but all the more so because there have been recent intelligence warnings that the very forces that were behind the Capitol insurrection, people with similar thoughts, perhaps stirring again.
Absolutely. Federal law enforcement has been warning since January 6th that we will remain in this heightened threat environment for the foreseeable future. And there are moments when perhaps things are calm here in Washington and that fear starts to wane and then something happens. In April, we saw someone with their vehicle ram a barricade here, taking the life of USCP Officer Billy Evans. That was another reminder of how real this threat is. Today, another reminder that this is, in some ways, could be a soft target. So law enforcement is taking this extraordinarily seriously. They've blocked off streets around that area. Again, we are nowhere close to that to try to keep everyone safe. In this moment, the situation is controlled. Again, those negotiations are ongoing, but you make the most important point, that this is the kind of thing law enforcement fears, and it's the kind of thing they have been warning about, John.
Whitney Wild live on the scene for us. We'll stay on top of it.